Hi everyone, I'm Marcelo De Santis, host of the Tech Series. Today I am in Milan, Italy, to meet an extraordinary individual, someone that is leading at the intersection of passion and speed. Mario Isola, Director of Motorsports at Pirelli.
It's not just a work, it's not just a job. You have to travel, you have to attend races, and so it's a choice that is dictated by passion.
Pirelli is a global company focused on the consumer market segment. They power up the most prestigious automotive brands in the planet, including the Formula One cars. Are you excited about that? Me too. Let's go meet Mario. Hi everyone, I'm here in Italy, in Milan today with Mario Isola, Motorsports Director at Pirelli. Mario, welcome to the Tech Series.
Thank you, and thank you for your invitation to be here with you.
Oh, my pleasure, and thanks for hosting us in this amazing and beautiful headquarters of Pirelli in Milan.
Yeah, you are in the foundation, so our historic part where all the heritage is.
So Mario, let's start from the beginning. I know you have an amazing personal story. Tell us about yourself and how did you get to become the Motorsports Director for Pirelli?
It's a long story. I was born and grew up in Milan, and I studied here. I'm passionate about motorsports since when I was 11. At that time, I wanted to be a race driver. So obviously my wish was to be in Formula One with a different role, I would say. I started to race with go-karts when I was 13. At that time, the age was 12 or 13, and I did it for 10 years. Then I realized I was not quick enough for being a Formula One driver, so another opportunity was to start technical studies and to try to be involved in this fantastic environment with a different role. I had the opportunity to join Pirelli, and I joined the company as a test driver because of my experience with go-kart. And then I realized at that time it was my dream job, but then I realized it was not my dream job, so I wanted to do something different. I moved to the design department, to R&D, as a designer for road tires, and then end of 2000, they were looking for a technician, a designer for tires for superbike at the time. And Pirelli gave me, and my boss of that time gave me the possibility to move to Motorsport. So I started with the FIA GT, and then I moved to Rally as responsible for our rally activities. And finally in end of 2009, beginning of 2010, my boss told me, we are evaluating to put our offer for Formula One. I said, what, Formula One? That was, a war.
Dream job,
right? A dream job. It was impossible for me at that time to think about Formula One. But it was possible. And in 2011, we joined the championship, and since 2011, we are there. It's difficult to summarize the history of a company with more than 100 years. It was founded in 1872, and first victory in motorsport was in 1907. So you can imagine the history behind it. But people here are proud to be Pirelliani. We call Pirelliani the employees of Pirelli, and the company was founded in Milan, and still in Milan is the headquarters. So you can see all the buildings here around that are new, and some other that are now part of the university, as I told you. So there is a very long tradition and sense of being part of a big family. More than 30,000 employees around the world with many factories in any country, but still the heart is here. And R&D is here, and we have many people coming from different countries to have training also here, or Italian people moving to other countries. So we are happy to be part of this organization that now is a lot more focused on tires, but in the past Pirelli started to produce rubber items, toys or other stuff like that, and then they moved to tires.
Give us a kind of lesson, Formula One tires for, beginners.
Tires are a very important part of the show. And for that reason, when we came back to Formula One in 2011, one request was, I needed tires with degradation. And degradation for us was, we worked for 100 years to try to reduce degradation, not to increase degradation. But degradation is necessary for the show to have different strategies, a different number of pit stops and so on. So tires for Formula One are designed in a way that they could promote the show. We have 6 different compounds this year, and the selection is done to try to have the best possible show and to give the engineers and drivers a challenge in managing the tires. During the race weekend, there is a fixed number of tires allocated to each driver, and obviously teams have to work around this batch of tires to plan the best strategy. So on Friday they collect numbers from free practice, on Saturday the main event is qualifying, and obviously during the race they have to choose the best strategy and try to get the best result.
And I learned this morning with your team how much collaboration exists between the Formula One teams and Pirelli to design the tires, even before we get to the race. So how do you manage to listen to 10 different Formula One teams and try to accommodate every single request, still staying agnostic overall, right?
The most important part of our job is to guarantee sporting equity. That is not just the product itself, because the tires are all the same. We have now a production process that is very good, and the production is very consistent, so we don't have an issue with one set that is different from another set. But it's not just the product. When you have the same product, then what is important is the speed in learning the product. Every year we have a new tire and new compounds, like this year, for example. And obviously teams are trying to understand tires as quick as possible, because this is giving them a competitive advantage. Mm-hmm. And it's our job to make it fair to everybody. So when we release an information to one team, we release the same information to all the other teams.
For all of them. Technology and artificial intelligence are at the center of designing, building, and monitoring the performance of tires at race day. From data analytics, digital twins, and sophisticated simulators, Pirelli is at the forefront of innovation with a strong commitment to safety and sustainability. This morning we were visiting your simulator, and it was amazing to see this engineer driving with those screens in front of him and actually testing tires and the car response in real time. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we have this static simulator in our headquarters with a professional driver driving the simulator. And in real time you can have the telemetry channel, so the engineers in the back can have a look at the data. And obviously we have a number of tracks available where we can simulate a lap, compare different specifications. What is important is that in the simulator all the conditions around the weather, temperature and so on are defined, so are not changing. So you have a very well-controlled environment where you can test the different specification. Also the driver is giving you a subjective feedback, and that's also an important parameter. We always try to double check or cross check driver's feeling with telemetry data. That's the best thing to do, because sometimes you have drivers reporting a feedback of something, and then it's difficult to find a correlation in the data. What we want to do always is to try to find the correlation.
Do Formula One drivers give you feedback? Do you have that feedback loop with Formula One drivers?
They use their own simulators. Our advantage is that we supply our model to 10 different teams, and we get the feedback from 10 different teams. And sometimes you realize that they are not all aligned, but usually you have a good number of teams in the same ballpark. That means that we have also the possibility to cut the teams that are not perfectly aligned. And this is obviously important for us to go in the right direction. If you have only one team, there is a big risk that if the team is going in a different direction, it takes you to the wrong way.
Let me get back to that example you shared with us. How do you lead in order to create space for your team to find the problem, find the solution to the problem?
I believe that first of all, you don't have to show that you are in panic, even if you are in panic. You have to try to be pragmatic and to list a number of actions that you have to do in a very short time, and to give and to empower each member of the team to do something quickly and in a very precise way. And each member of the team must feel the responsibility to come back to you with the job done, and done in the proper way. Then decisions together, quick meetings, but decisions together, and solution share with other people. I believe that this is the way, at least is the way that I know to manage these kind of situations.
If I had here in front of us your team, right, what would they say about you as a leader? What do you think they would say?
That I am stressful, probably, that I am too demanding, but I'm just transferring what happened to me.
Do you recall any competition in where the tire strategy was critical for?
Well, the first event that I have in mind is Monza last year. Leclerc was able to win the race because he decided to switch from a two-stop strategy to a one-stop strategy and have a much longer second stint, and saving the time for the additional pit stop gave him the possibility to win the race. So it's just an example, but we have many examples.
So you mentioned before some people are not interested in the technical aspect of tires, but in this show we're the tech series. We're really curious how Pirelli does use technology and data, from the design phase of tires up until, the tires are being used in a race, so to speak.
First of all, I have to say that if I compare 2011, that was our first year back in Formula One, to now, it's a different world. The development is now on a big part of at the start of the development is with vehicle models. So we start designing the tire with a virtual model of the tire that the teams can use in their simulators. And these give us the possibility to cut the development time by 30%, more or less, but also to cut the number of physical prototypes that we must produce and test on track. When we moved from 13-inch tire to 18-inch tire, obviously we didn't have any car, any 2022 cars able to fit the new tires and with the performance expected in 2022. So we had to work a lot on virtual models. And we realized, if I'm not wrong, something around 70 different prototypes in a virtual environment. But 70. And we tested 30. Because the other 40, already in this first phase of virtual test, were already discharged.
So that makes you it's not only that you reduce, so to speak, the cost of designing and testing, but also you become a much more sustainable.
Absolutely, that's one of our priorities, because if you don't have to produce the prototypes, transport the prototypes and test them on track, that means also having a car, a team and so on.
Carbon footprint is...
The footprint reduction is quite big, so we are faster, more sustainable, and cost effective.
Behind me, we have the Bicocca degli Arcimboldi, an Italian villa built in the second half of the 15th century. In 1918, the villa passed to the hands of Pirelli, and this place became the new production district for the company. This is a great example of combining Pirelli heritage and technology innovation. So more or less, how many data points do you collect through the process of designing and testing? I'm sure it's a lot of data.
A lot, more than expected, because we have the telemetry from all the cars, not only during the test, but also during the race, free practice and qualifying, and any lap, basically. And we collect and we get 115 telemetry channels per car.
Wow, per car?
Per car.
So that means that there are 10 teams?
10 teams, right? 20 cars, is more than 2,000 telemetry channels. Every time the 20 cars are running one lap, we have a lot of data. We have a technical center in Bari, in the south of Italy, with more than 50 engineers that are working to develop tools for artificial intelligence and correlation with big data. And this is another important part of our job.
Let's switch from Formula One to motorsports. You know, your role is motorsports. We talk about Formula One. What other things?
We are involved in GT championships, many around the world. We have a very good cooperation with Stefan Rattel and the SRO organization. So we are heavily involved in GT. That was my first experience in motorsport 20 years ago. And we are still very present in rally. Mm-hmm. In motorsport, we are also producing tires that we call collezione for historic cars. They are more and more important because we have more and more historic cars, and so we have a small part of our activity that is for these collezione tires, and we have a street legal product that is the P0 Trofeo RS. That is developed both for original equipment but also for track days. It's a ultra high performance tire that you can fit on your supercar and have fun on track.
So Mario, now let's play a little bit of quick questions and quick answers from you. Let's start with cappuccino after 10 a.m. Yes or no?
Absolutely no.
Why not?
No, in Italy it's not allowed. Sorry. You can have espresso.
Espresso.
After 2 p.m.
Yes. Excellent. Let's think about what's your favorite racetrack?
I like Melbourne and Montreal.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you another question. At the end of the race, do you watch the race or do you watch the data from the tires?
Data from the tires. I'm honest, I have to. I would like to watch the race, but unfortunately I have to look at the data.
Okay, so pasta, bolognese or carbonara?
Carbonara.
Okay. And what's more demanding, engineers or the drivers?
Drivers.
Why?
Because they are asking a lot to you every time. With the engineers, you can fight with data. With drivers, it's more difficult. Here we have a fantastic show car in our headquarters that replicates the current Formula One car.
Is this a real replica?
It is a real, obviously without the engine, but is very similar to a Formula One car, and you can see it live in our headquarters.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, Mario, I mean, we're concluding the interview. We had an amazing conversation with you, and I just want to say thanks for being a great host. Thanks for being a great storyteller.
Thank you.
To our audience, If you like it, please subscribe and share. This is the Tech Series. See you in the next episode. Thank you, Mario.
Thank you.
And the intersection of speed and. Pasta, filetto or carbonara?
Marcelo, filetto is not pasta.
Okay, so we do it again. Okay.
Bolognese.
Bolognese, okay, I do that. Okay. An Italian village that